Let's get funky fresh. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. Along with my brother Adam and our friend Jack, I am Justin. What we do here on Wheel of Albums is we spin a wheel of Robert Dimery's book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. We listen to that album for a few times during the week. We get back to you and we let you know if we think this is truly an album you must hear before you die. This week, the wheel is spun. I believe this is album number 62, and it's Leonard Cohen's Songs of Love and Hate.
Leonard Cohen was some artist that I've heard people speak highly of. The only thing I really know about him is he is the author of Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley's version. Buckley-esque, everybody.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Leonard Cohen at all, other than he wrote the song Hallelujah.
I think that's universal. Even Sydney knows the song Hallelujah. I think everyone knows that. That's base one.
And there's also another song I like called Barracuda.
Those keeping score at home, that is not the Heart song.
So this is one of those guys, a well-renowned, influential, well-respected artist that I'm totally unfamiliar with. I'm kind of looking forward to finding out what all the hubbub is about.
I did a quick Google search, and it says he's a highly influential Canadian singer-songwriter, poet, and novelist, known for his poetic, emotionally deep lyrics exploring religion, politics, isolation, and romance. And from looking at a couple pictures of him, he certainly gives off some Dustin Hoffman vibes.
I have listened to Songs of Love and Hate before. I own Songs of Leonard Cohen, his debut album. I'm familiar with Avalanche and Famous Blue Raincoat as well. This is not an album for everyday occasions. We'll get into that a little bit later for sure. Adam, I do remember one time Dad was still on Earth here and he was looking through my CD collection and he came across the fact that I had Songs of Leonard Cohen and he just looked at me and he said, "Why do you have this garbage?" So I am well aware that Leonard gives a very strong negative effect to some people and a very strong positive effect to some people. And I have a feeling we're going to get into that in this podcast as well. Moving along, the name of the album, Songs of Love and Hate. What do you guys think the ratio is between love and hate on this album?
I gotta say, man, this album is a vibe, and you gotta be, I think, in the right mindset to really like it. I'm just gonna say for this prompt, it's equal. So I'm going 50-50.
So are the songs here more about love, hate? I've got something they're all about. Self-indulgence. Leonard. Come on. I'm going to guess that the spurned love does not count as hate. So we'll still put that in the love column. I'm going to go 57% love, 43% hate, 100% self-indulgent.
I think the true answer here is each song is filled with 100% love and 100% hate. That is why what do they call that? Conjunction? And he's passionate in each one of these songs. And he hates that he's so passionate.
I feel like you got to be in a certain mood for this one. This album certainly isn't for one in a happy, joyful mood.
Maybe if you're in the midst of a long-term rabies treatment, these songs will kind of get you through the monotony and the dullness, the emptiness, just the prolonged boringness.
It's for one who is in a heavy, solemn, contemplative mood.
It's basically an album to be contemplative about people that you love and what happens when they let you down. 'Cause he's trying to remember the good times, but also capitalizing on the betrayal.
Just you feel heavy in the moment, but otherwise hopeful that things are going to get better.
Ennui that Leonard Cohen brings.
It's definitely an album you benefit from reading the lyrics as you're listening to it. I don't do that all the time. I don't do it very often at all, but it helped with this one.
And I gotta say, maybe I was in that mood this week, or maybe I wasn't.
They say he's a poet. I have to believe that because he's clearly not a singer.
His style of singing is very reminiscent of being in the same vein as Lou Reed. They're like cousins that can't really get along with each other, which kind of brings me to, let's say if these two had a Lifetime movie about them. Guys, it's time. What type of plot synopsis are you going to come up with?
Leonard Cohen and Lou Reed. Well, Lou Reed is the bad boy from the streets. He talks the talk and he walks the walk. He wears aviator shades. Leonard Cohen has cut off the heads of that Fisher-Price little people. The one that wore the hat sideways and had the freckles, kind of a bully. He's cut his head off, 4 of them. and he's put pipe cleaners on him, and he's wrapped them around his toes, and he's having conversations in the dark.
A love triangle between Leonard Cohen, Lou Reed, and a girl. I'm envisioning a cross between Titanic and Castaway. So Kate Winslet's going to play the girl in this situation, and she is engaged to Leonard Cohen, and they go on a cruise. They're on a cruise ship. But Leonard's dark and brooding. He's from Canada. This other guy that's on the cruise, Lou Reed, sweeps in like Leo DiCaprio, talking about how great New York is and how she should try a Coney Island hot dog.
Lou Reed and Leonard Cohen share some kind of DNA, but Leonard doesn't know how to sell the sizzle.
You gotta see, like, Leonard's not a bad guy. He's just
Very emotional.
deeply misunderstood.
Preach it, my brother.
Anyway, the cruise boat, it sinks. Leonard gets stranded on an island, and he's torn while he's on that island, and he writes this great album called Songs of Love and Hate. He hates Lou for sweeping in and charming his fiancée. He loves Kate and wants to get back to her. So when he finally gets off the island and makes his way home, it's too late. Kate's married to Lou, and she's pregnant with Lou's child.
That is a wonderful tale, Adam. I guess there will be no chocolates in the box or diamonds in the mine. So if you've made it through all that and you want to hear what we think of the album, I think Songs of Love and Hate is a very, very good album. It is exactly what is advertised. These are songs of love and hate. Mostly Leonard, his acoustic strumming, an occasional child choir. Emmylou Harris stops by, because who doesn't love Emmylou Harris? I enjoyed this album a lot.
It's hard probably to sing and play the guitar. He doesn't sing well, and his guitar playing is not top notch. It probably is good accompaniment for a guy reading poetry on open mic night. But the accolades that this guy's getting, I can't get into it.
You know, you're asking, is he good at marrying his poetry with his playing? Absolutely. So it is not clumsy at all. It's perfect. Avalanche feels like a song for someone who is hanging on the razor's edge, maybe a motorcyclist riding, pushing the limits of speed and life at dusk on a windy road.
It sets the brooding mood for the rest of this album. Man, guitar, desperado lyrics.
Last year's Man, one of my favorites, feels like a man that has been broken, but he's about to be reborn. This song kind of feels like it's going to jump into this joyous chorus, but Leonard kind of refrains and makes tension there with his guitar playing and everything else.
If you don't talk condescendingly to someone after listening to Leonard Cohen, did you even really listen to Leonard Cohen?
Dress Rehearsal Rag and Last Year's Man uses a child's choir perfectly. Take note, talk. This is how you use a child's choir. It was great.
I do like the use of the children's choir or the children singing. Dress Rehearsal Rag, though, they almost sound like they're being held hostage by Leonard, which is kind of funny. Maybe they're Leonard's inner youth voices trying to shake out of his head.
But he still wanted to make some scratch off of this, so bring in the kids. The kids' chorus is going to get me. But come on, Leonard. Twice in a row? You couldn't even separate a couple songs before you brought the kids' choir back in?
Love Calls You By Your Name. Great example of Cohen's guitar work. His strumming builds like this certain pressure or strain to the songs, which he does throughout the album. And that pressure is kind of key, I think, to him battling love and hate.
And that pressure builds all the way up through Famous Blue Raincoat, which I think could actually end the album. Famous Blue Raincoat's so devastating that the final two songs after kind of pale in comparison. It's just pretty much where everything falls apart for Leonard. He loses his wife to his best friend. They sleep together, but Leonard still has the courage to call him his brother.
You know, the underlying woman's voice on Famous Blue Raincoat is just magnificent. It's kind of a man on the brink of disaster is what I get. He did fantastic on all of that, and I just can't say enough about this album. It's fantastic.
I really do think Leonard Cohen knows that these songs are trash, and he's pulling the wool over everybody's eyes.
Oh, the polar opposites, really. Love and hate. Adam and Jack here with Leonard Cohen. When we take a look at final ratings for Songs of Love and Hate, Adam scored it highest with an 8. I gave it a 7.75. Jack a 3.5 for an overall rating of 6.41. Our favorite songs. Top 3, Famous Blue Raincoat. Number 2, Diamonds in the Mine. Number 3, Last Year's Man. Our least favorite song was Sing Another Song, boys.
Must you wear the famous blue raincoat before you die? No. Use Leonard Cohen record albums as shims. Use it to protect yourself from rain. Use it as a scratch pad if you're going to take a phone message down for somebody. It serves no purpose for your ears. It doesn't get you from A to B. You got to be a human moving, progressing, living. I'm sure there's a bunch of haters out there, and I'm going to go with songs about love and hate are songs I love to hate. Do not listen to songs of love and hate before you die.
Well, I hate to say it, Justin and Jack, but I think this album's name should be retitled and called Songs of Boredom and Despair. Mr. Cohen, can you be any more sad? Seriously, just asking for a friend. At least when we listened to Tom Waits a couple weeks ago, he gave us cool instrument sounds. That, of course, is what I thought I was going to say instead. What I have to say is that I absolutely, without a doubt, love this album. I can't say enough great things about this album. You must absolutely hear it before you die. Not only did I absolutely love it, I think I'm making it an album that if I was on an album stranded, it would be one of my top 5 picks that would go. I think it's the perfect vibe that if you were sitting on the edge of a deep green sea or the edge of a beach at sunset, contemplating life, this is what you want to listen to. Leonard Cohen, I love you. I want more of what you have to offer.
I remember enjoying this album a lot whenever I listened to it before, and listening to it 3 times in a week. I loved it even more. So I'm with Adam on this one. I'm going to say yes, this is something you must hear before you die. It is not for all occasions. It's not for party or bar mitzvahs, as I was joking with Adam. Cohen has a way of putting his lyrics to his guitar, his poetry to his guitar, I should say, even if there's too many words to fit along with the bars that he's playing. His aura itself is enough for me to recommend this album for you to listen to. Adam, we're running short on time. We need you to spin for our next album, album number 63. Give that wheel a tug.
Well, the wheel has been spun, and it looks like we're going from Canadian contemporary folk straight to Texas for a type of music that's been a stranger here on the wheel so far. And that stranger is the one and only Willie Nelson and his 1975 country album, Redheaded Stranger.
Follow along on Spotify for new episodes almost every Monday, and hit the subscribe button and like button on YouTube as well.
I really do think Leonard Cohen knows that these songs are trash.
Leonard is heartbroken, so he moves to England, where he changes his name and becomes a professor at a highly regarded academy called Hogwarts, because in the end, Leonard Cohen really is just Severus Snape, the dark, brooding, misunderstood master of dark arts from Harry Potter, belting out diamonds in the mine with his favorite friend, Hagrid, because there's no chocolates in your boxes anymore, and there are no diamonds in your mind, and there are no letters in the mailbox. That was so bad. Seriously, cut that. For Justin and Jack, I'm Adam, and thanks for tuning in. Catch you in Texas next week.
Leo Sayer made him some bucks. Leo Sayer, that guy can sing. He is all over the place. He can do Broadway show tunes. He can do pop. He can do disco.